Democrats, they say, are diluting the standards of impeachment and therefore making it easier to impeach future presidents of either party. So that will be their legal premise. In case you're counting pages here, theirs is 110 pages. The Democratic manager's 111. It's 12-point New Time Roman type, same margins. I have no idea, but I just thought I'd pass that along to you. Meanwhile, we got Republican fundraiser extraordinaire Noel Nickbohr, market watchers Paul Dietrich, and Courtney Dominguez. Courtney, I'm just wondering, the impeachment stuff, does it enter into your equation on the markets? It's a great unknown. We kind of know how it's going to finish, but play it out for me.
I think you kind of have to ignore some of these headlines that are out there. So whether it's impeachment or trade wars or Iran, there's always going to be something else around the corner. So you need to just make sure you're looking at how is the economy right now. And the economy is still on really strong footing. And for any of my clients or any of my investors, we're looking at your long-term time horizon. So while
what is long-term for them, your clients?
I mean, realistically, we're talking about your entire lifetime. But even over the next couple of years.
So you get to my age, long-term gets to be lunch tomorrow. For the near term, is it still going to be a crazy ride? Because it's been like a melt up, right?
Yeah, I mean, most people on Wall Street understand that impeachment is not going to affect anything in the underlying economy.
What if you had a sudden call for witnesses and the two sides approve it, thereby potentially lengthening this drama out?
Still not going to affect anything in the underlying economy. And we have one example, the Bill Clinton impeachment, where from the beginning of the process to when he was acquitted, the market was up 28%. So
no, that's a very good example. And Noel, one of the things that we've been saying that the two compare quite similarly is strong backdrop, the market, strong backdrop for stocks and the economy itself. One of the reasons why I think Bill Clinton survived that was because of that backdrop, because those at the corner of Wall and Broad, they love making money, and that was something they didn't want to see risk.
Right, and this is going to be very, very hard, Neil, because when you have a great, unbelievably great economic background going on, what exactly do you poke holes at? What exactly can you do? And looking at someone else, let's just say something happens and President Trump is gone. Everybody's going to want to continue on his economic policies to keep it status quo.
But every single one of the Democrats is going to raise taxes to some degree. So that would be a scare, wouldn't it?
Of course it was. And I think that is the reason why Elizabeth Warren did not really get a lot of Wall Street backing, because of the shock to the system, along with the fact that her economic policies really just didn't add up.
You know, one of the things that a lot of the administration officials have been touting, and maybe the president outlines it in Davos tomorrow, is that there's a lot more to come. There are going to be targeted tax cuts. Of course, I would imagine that would depend on a Republican House to work with the president on that. But that there are bigger, better things to come. There's another trade deal, or they hope a trade deal that won't be as nasty as we have with China, with Europe. How is that all going to go?
All of these things are taking away a lot of the uncertainty that the markets have right now. Because when you look at last year, what I find really fascinating is despite the fact that the markets did so fantastic in 2019, investors are still really nervous, and they have been pulling money out of the markets and adding money to money markets and bonds.
Well, that can be a healthy development, right? If there's enough skittishness out there, right?
Yeah, I actually see that as a positive sign, but you do have things like trade wars that have been overweighing investors' fears of getting their money invested. So getting a lot of that lifted, and if there is more to come, I see that as a really positive sign.
You know, this past weekend, Paul, I talked to Peter Navarro, of course, the trade advisor, is saying, I see Dow 32,000. When you think about it, that's about a 9% jump from where we are now, doable. Dow 30,000 is what, about 2% away. What do you think of all that?
I think that's doable. I expect to see 7 to 9% growth in the market this year.
Really?
If you look at the IMF reports that just came out this morning, they're projecting higher growth globally as well as in the United States. I think with the trade deal, which I found a bit disappointing, but it does for the Davos types. It gives a reprieve for any tariff chaos for the next year. And so I think this is going to be a good year for the markets. And I think, President Trump is going to use every lever of power at his disposal to keep this economic.
Every president does. Sometimes it works for him, not all the time.
It'll work for him through November 30th. And that's going to be good for the stock market.
All right, we shall see.